New research shows a controversial teacher evaluation system may actually work. Back in 2009, then Chancellor of D.C. Public Schools, Rhee, she implemented the impact system in a very dramatic move to try to save a failing school system. Her changes received harsh reviews from critics, but now a new study provides some vindication for her methods. We're going to talk to Rhee live in just a moment, but first, here's a look at her story.
Surveys, bring your whiteboard, bring your pencils.
During her 3-year tenure as Chancellor of D.C. Public Schools, Rhee's implementation of a new teacher evaluation system quickly made her one of the most polarizing figures in American education.
Do I deliver? Yes.
Tasked with turning around a failing school system where many students had below-average scores on standardized tests, Rhee started Impact, the first education system of its kind, awarding bonuses of up to $25,000 for teachers deemed highly effective and firing others for subpar performance. These ratings based on students' test scores and classroom observations.
The mayor's main priority is to make sure that we have a high-quality teacher in front of every single child in every single classroom every single day.
Since Rhee introduced the program in 2009, nearly 500 teachers have been terminated, the shakeup sparking a heated debate.
All I hear is lay off teachers.
Who's going to teach our kids?
But according to a new study, researchers at Stanford and the University of Virginia say Rhee's impact system worked, that it improved the effectiveness of the D.C. public school teacher workforce through its promise of rewards and consequences. The study also found that within 2 years, teachers with one minimally effective rating would likely quit, whereas those who ranked as highly effective often stayed, improving their skills, even adding up to $27,000 to their base salary for a second top rating. All right, let's bring in Rhee to talk more about this. She's joining us live from Sacramento this morning. Michelle, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, I remember I interviewed you years ago when this was first just going into place in Washington, D.C. You have been both celebrated and sharply criticized for your methods. Now, on the heels of this study, what do you hope people take away from it?
Well, I think the message here is that investing in teacher effectiveness really does work. The bottom line is that we have to ensure that our kids have the most effective teachers, and one way to do that is to elevate the teaching profession by making sure that you're recognizing and rewarding the most highly effective teachers, and that for ineffective teachers, you have to ensure that they're quickly improving their practice.
Now, what do you say to critics who say the incentive structure is wrong? Incentivizing teachers this way will push some of them to maybe cheat or push the students too hard, having it in such a results testing-based system that the incentive structure is off.
Well, we have to think about what our jobs are, and for a teacher every day, it's ensuring that their student achievement levels are increasing for the kids in their classroom. And so by measuring that, it just sort of makes good common sense. We want to make sure that kids are learning every day, that they are gaining the skills and knowledge that they need, and we have to be measuring that.
So it will not surprise you, this study has not quieted your critics. Randi Weingarten of the American Federation of Teachers said this. She's quoted as saying this: "How can anyone possibly conclude that the impact system is good if an evaluation system you create fails to improve student achievement? Then you must question the value of the evaluation system." This study is silent on that issue, on how the impact system actually improved student achievement. It does not measure that in this study. So is it missing that key bit of proof?
Well, it doesn't measure that in this particular study, but all you need to do is actually look at the data. If you look at the data in D.C. over the last 5 years, from 2008 until 2013, the system has actually almost doubled the academic achievement levels of kids in math. For example, it's gone from 27% of kids proficient in math to nearly 50%. And now 50% still isn't high enough. We have to get higher, but it certainly is an enormous improvement over where the district was currently. Quite frankly, I would say that I'm a little disappointed that Randi Weingarten isn't acknowledging the fact that this is her members, her teachers, who have actually seen this growth with kids, and I think that they should actually be celebrated for that.
Now, since you put the system into place, other states, other cities, Houston, Memphis, several others have put in place a similar system. Do you think the impact system, the way that you have created, is suitable for all kinds of school districts? Many will say that a one-size-fits-all approach does not work in terms of how you evaluate teachers.
Yeah. Well, the Obama administration and Race to the Top have been advocating for states to ensure that they're putting in place similar teacher evaluation systems. And I think that systems like this can work, but it really requires an investment. It's not just a law that you can put in place. It really requires a tremendous amount of thought, of customization for each state to take this on. But we didn't just have a system that said, well, you know, teachers are either highly effective or not. We had an entire system that, incented teachers to do well who were at the top of the range. But we also ensured that for people who weren't performing where they needed to be, that there was really robust professional development in place for them as well.
So this kind of groundbreaking program system for how you ran D.C. public schools, this is what many people associate with your name. You've since left D.C. schools. You've taken on new challenges. But how are you going to continue impacting students' lives since you're not involved with the school system now?
Well, my new organization, Students First, actually advocates to put laws and policies in place across the country. We're active in 18 states across the nation, and part of what we're trying to do is get to states to adopt teacher evaluation systems like Impact, to put in place things like pay-for-performance systems for the most effective teachers. So we're still working hard every day to make sure that every child in this nation can receive a high-quality education.
Well, that is a goal that everyone should be focusing on, that's for sure. Michelle Rhee, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. You heard what Michelle Rhee had to say. We want to hear what you think.